going to show you exactly what it's like in the sports betting world, what the realistic side of sports betting looks like, what it looks like to be an actual sports bettor and to set yourself up to be a sports bettor. All right, first thing, you need to understand the purpose of your bankroll. All right, your bankroll is your lifeline. Without it, you are dead and you cannot place bets. You need to understand what a bankroll is, all right? And you have to have it. If you don't have a bankroll, guess what? You're not making any money, all right? I get people all the time that want to come to me and they want to say, well, Frank, I don't have any money, but I want to become successful in sports betting. Well, you can't, all right? You need money to make money, all right? If you do not have any money, you're not going to make any money. Hence the reason why you'd have to go and you got to get a job. You need to make money, all right? That's the way the world works. You want to make money? Well, guess what? You need money, all right? Your bankroll should not be your savings account. Because I've seen this a lot of times too, is people are like, well, I got money in my savings. That's not considered your bankroll, all right? Your savings account, your life savings account is not considered your bankroll, all right? What your bankroll is the money that you have for investing, all right? Now, the reason why is because the money is going to be constantly going up and down, all right? Your savings account, your money doesn't go up and down, all right? It barely goes up every 50 years, all right? But when it comes to your investing account, your sports betting account, they're going to fluctuate. It's going to fluctuate, all right? It's going to go up and down, up and down. You don't want your life savings going up and down, up and down, up and down, because, again, you'll get too emotional and you'll just stress out day in and day out, all right? You don't want to do that, all right? Next thing is, just like I said, if you have no bankroll, you shouldn't even be doing this. You shouldn't even be watching me. You shouldn't even anything to do with gambling, sports betting, investing, anything. Shouldn't be doing any of that stuff. You need to go out. You need to find a job. You need to make some money. All right. You got to put some money away. You got to focus on that first. Because like I said, if you have zero, there's nothing we can do. I can't help you. If you have no money, what am I supposed to do? There's nothing to teach. You can't teach anything. You guys ever hear that saying where it's like the first million is the hardest in business? That's very true because you're starting from zero. You start from nothing. So you got to build your way all the way up. All right, and then after that, guess what? You have money to make money. Next thing you know, you have $1 million. Well, you have $1 million to make more money, right? It goes hand in hand. That's the way the world works. No different in sports betting. You need money to make money. All right, so now we're going to talk about unit sizes for bankrolls. All right, because like I said, you need money to make money, right? Well, we're going to go through all these different type of bankrolls. All right, we're going to talk about them. First one, most common one that I see, all right, is the $1,000 bankroll. So the $1,000 bankroll here, your unit size should be $10 to $30. All right, you should not be betting any more than that. Now I see this all the time on a $1,000 bankroll. People are betting $100, $200 per play. All right, now you guys have to understand this. And just like, to be honest with you, I think 2 hours ago I put out a tweet that talked about this. If you go and you lose $200 with a $1,000 bankroll, you've lost 20% of your overall bankroll. And you are sad, all right? You are emotionally distraught because you're sitting there and you've almost lost half of your money. All right? I'm going to be honest with you guys, those of you that trade stocks and do stuff like that, GameStop, for example, extremely volatile stock. In one day, you could lose half of your account. It can go down 50%. One day, you can make half your account because it goes up 50%. But that emotional damage that does to you is insane. All right. So now you lose 200, you lose 300, you lose $400 with a $1,000 bankroll. You're distraught. You want to quit. You don't even want to do this anymore. You're doing $10 to $30 unit sizes with a $1,000 bankroll. You lose one bet, two bets. You're not really sweating it, right? You're not sweating it as much. So you have to understand how that works. All right. We're going to take some levels here. We're going to work our way up in the levels. $3,000 bankroll. All right. $3,000 bankroll. You should be within that $30 to $90 unit size. All right, you shouldn't be outside of that. Now, I know I have a couple videos that maybe if you guys dive deep, you see that I say 5% or whatnot. Well, 5% is really if you have like a $1,000 bankroll and you're really, or under pretty much. If you're under a $1,000 bankroll and you need to kind of accelerate that to try to make some money, that's the only way you can really make some money without having to wait, a couple years to get up to a couple $1,000 bankroll. All right, that's the only exceptions. But for the examples that I'm showing you, this is 1 to 3% of your overall bankroll. All right, there's so many people out there that do not have a $3,000 bankroll, but like I said, are betting $100 a game, People that have $1,000 bankroll that are betting $100 a game. They think that that's the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. All right. That's a recipe for disaster because you cannot live through the volatility of sports betting. You just can't. You go on losing streaks. Guess what? You're donezo. All right. Now I'm going to give you guys an example as well because I just went through this. So I do this every single day, month in and month out, year in and year out. All right. Beginning of June, a little rough patch that hits where, I think I lost like 5 or 6 in a row. Now, your average sports bettor, they can't even make it through that sometimes. All right. They can't make it through those losses. But I understand that I get through it. You shake it off. Guess what? I can make that back within the next week or two after that. All right. And again, that's exactly what happened. In like the last 3 days, it went like 4, 5, and 0. All right. But that's just the way that it goes. You have to be able to see through that. Some people can't even see through that. All right. You could understand that and see through that when you're correlating your bankroll and your unit size are correct. Because when they're not correct, you're going crazy. Like I said, $1,000 bankroll, you're betting $200 a game. You lose 5 in a row, you're done. You got no money. You're done. You cannot continue. All right. So understand how important it is for these unit sizes and how to correlate that with your bankroll. Now, a $5,000 bankroll, you need to be betting $50 to $150 each unit size. All right, each bet. So understand that. Like I said, it's 1 to 3%. All right, at any level here. Now we're going to get to the next levels here. $10,000 bankroll. All right, $10,000 bankroll. You're sticking in that $100, $300 unit size. What a $10,000 bankroll is what the people that are betting the $100, $200 a game, they should have that. I'm telling you right now, 95 to 97% of the people that bet $100 to $300 a game don't have $10,000 in reserve for that. They don't. All right? So you need to understand that. You need that money. You need that money to be able to make it through the volatility. All right? This is why so many people fail. So many people fail because they don't have the right management. All right? Then when you have the right management, you can understand you make it through all those ups and downs. You make it through the ups and downs, and then you just work through it. That's really how it is. All right? And then people get, they can't get to that point. They get addicted. They think they're an addiction to gambling and all that. It's really just comes down to money management. They don't manage their money correctly. Next level, $50,000 bankroll. All right? This is where you're getting real next level. All right? $500 to $1,500 unit sizes. This is where you have to split your bets up. All right, you have to have multiple sports books open. You need to be able to split your bets because you're going to get limited. If you're betting $1,500 a shot at one sports book, if you're betting $500 a shot at one sports book, they're going to limit you. They're going to ban you, especially if you know, like I said, if you know what you're doing. All right, and then the last level here is the $100,000 bankroll. All right, this is what everybody strives to get. Everybody always strives to get to that $100,000 bankroll where you're betting $1,000 to $3,000 a game. And again, multiple sports books have to be open for you to be able to achieve this. All right, multiple. You cannot just have 1 or 2 sports books. And that's another thing to address real quick is those of you guys that have sports books, and you're in the state that has every sports book known to man, and you only have like 1 or 2 sports books open, there's no reason for that. All right, they're free to open. Go open all the sports books that you have access to. There's no reason not to. Most of them offer you bonuses and stuff like that. So just make sure you guys go and do that stuff because it's very important. All right, because if you plan on making it to that level, well, guess what? You're going to need them anyway. All right, and I'm thinking everybody that's watching right now and everybody that's going to watch this video, you guys all want to make it to that level, right? Because you wouldn't be watching here. All right, this isn't for entertainment purposes. All right, I don't teach you guys stuff so that way, you could go bet parlays and have fun watching with your buddies. No, we're here to make money. All right, that's the way it is. You want to make money, that's why you're watching me. That's why you watch my channel. All right, let's get to the next thing now. Betting based on emotions. All right, this is a killer. This kills every sports bettor out there. The average sports bettor loses $10,000 a year. Just think of that. I want you guys to think of that real quick. Your average sports bettor loses $10,000 a year. This is why month in and month out, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, multiple billion, tens of billions of dollars that they're making through sports betting. Because people have no idea what they're doing. They're going on, they're just betting random stuff, and they just keep donating. They put themselves in a hole. They develop that addiction mindset where they just keep going, snowballing, keep going. It's terrible when it comes down to it. All right? That's why I've made, my company, I made my channel, because I want to help people know that you can have fun doing this and you can make money doing it as well. Don't got to develop addiction and all these other problems and everything like that, and lose your job and lose your family and everything because you're betting on sports. You don't need to do that, all right? But back to what I was saying here. The reason why they lose so much money, they don't have a strategy, all right? They just bet on their favorite teams, or they bet on who they think is going to win. All right, this is a big thing, thinking about who's going to win. So people will look at a slate of games and they'll look and they'll be like, oh, the Yankees are a way better team than the Reds. How could they lose, right? So they go and bet the Yankees to win. Next thing you know, the Reds blow them out. Well, they just look at the outside. They don't look, they just look at the outside there that's like, oh, the Yankees are a better team. Well, you don't realize in baseball, there's 160 plus games, all right? Sometimes they're not even taking the game serious. Sometimes the pitcher they throw on the mound is not good. There's a lot of stuff you have to look at, all right? Other than just, well, this team's better than this team, so they should win. That dooms everybody in every sport. That you think you're just going to go in there and think that this team's better than this team, that's why they should win. No, that doesn't work, all right? So you need to understand that if you can take that out of your repertoire of what you think routine is, and you think this team's going to win, forget about that. You need to look at line movement. You need to look at who's betting what, the money percentages. You need to look at the trends. How do these teams match up? How do they play against each other? The weather in games. You got to look at all this other stuff. All right, baseball. You got to look at the pitchers, the bullpen. You got to look at how that pitcher does against lefties, righties. You got to look at all this different stuff. All right, you got to understand that it's not easy to do, guys. Sports betting is not really easy, all right? But I have made it easy for a lot of people, all right? Because like I said, I've dedicated my life to making what I've made. So I've got it streamlined. So that's what the great thing is about, when I'm teaching you guys and showing you guys stuff, all right? I already been through every single thing that you could think of. So I streamline the process of everything, all right? And if you guys are interested in that, like I said, make sure you go down in the description, all right? Any of the videos, not just this one, any of the videos on YouTube, all right? Let's talk about this now. When people lose, they get emotional, all right? It's just human nature. You lose something, you get upset, you want to get it back, right? So somebody goes out, like I said, this goes into that unit size again. So $1,000 bankroll, guy loses 200, guy loses 300 bucks. The emotion kicks in because he just lost 20-30% of his overall bankroll. He's upset. He's mad. All right. He's like, how do I recover this? I want my money back. So what does he do? He goes and doubles up. Goes and bets an ill-advised bet. All right. Something quick. Probably a first inning bet or something in baseball. Trying to get his money back real quick. That's what he does. Guess what happens? Loses that bet. Snowballs into, he has like 200 bucks left. Throws it on something that's even crazier. That's probably like plus 500, so that way he can recoup all of his money. Loses that, he's gone. Got no money. All right, this happens every single day. Happens every day. All right, the emotions take control. Snowballs, bad bets, lose your bankroll. That's the routine that it goes to lose all your money. Happens every single day to a lot of people. All right, you have to learn that emotional control is very important. Now, you have a $100,000 bankroll, okay, and you're betting $1,000. Well, you lose that $1,000, you still got $99,000. You're not as emotional as the guy that just lost 10% of his bankroll, right? You're not that emotional. So you got to understand, that's why I always say like 1 to 3%, that's what your unit size should be. You don't get those emotions as much when you're only betting 1 to 3%. You're betting 1 to 3%, you lose, your emotions are not that crazy. You win, your emotions are not that crazy, all right? You stay level-headed. Now that goes, again, person that's betting 20-30% of their bankroll, when they win, they're ecstatic. They think that that's the way that you do things. But they don't understand. They probably don't have the right strategy in place. So then they end up losing. Then they lose, and then they lose, and then they lose, and then it's gone, all right, within a day or two. Happens every single day, guys. You want to be able to last long in the game of sports betting. Because if you don't, and you don't realize that, you're not cut out for this game. You're just not. A lot of people like want to come in, make quick money, and that's it. I tell these people, why do you want to bet on a game if you want to make quick money? All right, well, that's not quick money. All right, quick money is not sitting and watching a game for 3 hours and sweating your ass off when you can just go to a roulette table, a blackjack table, and just put the amount you're going to put on the game, just put it on the table. You know you're going to win within 10 seconds. All right, that's quick money. So That's why, I try to make people understand. You need to understand the emotions are very important, and the long-term mental game is where you want to be at. All right. Another thing is, just like I kind of just went over this, but your unit size needs to be correct. All right. It's very important. If your unit size is not correct, then your emotional control is going to be gonzo. All right. You're not going to be successful if your unit size isn't correct and you're not betting the right unit size. All right. Let's get to the next thing. Next thing I want to talk about is being realistic. All right. Being realistic is very important because a lot of people think that they can come into this game, like I said, quick money, unrealistic. They think they're going to bet like a crazy, like they're going to take $500 or whatnot. They think they're going to take $500, and I've had this so many times. They're going to take $500 and they're expecting to make $20,000 in the next month. Listen, guys, where are you making that at? All right, there's nowhere that you are making that type of money. You're not taking 500 and making 50,000. It's just not going to happen. All right, you need to be realistic. So, $1,000 bankroll. What you can expect on a yearly gain there from someone that if you have the right strategies in place, $500 to $3,000. That's in a whole entire year. All right. So, like I said, it takes money to make money, right? $1,000. Some people aren't satisfied making $500 in an entire year, but they don't realize that's 50% gain of what you started out with. All right. Next thing, $3,000 bankroll. You can make anywhere from $1,500 to $9,000. See where I'm going here? The more I go, the levels they start going up, right? All right. So $3,000 bankroll, you can make $1,500 to $9,000. All right. Next step, $5,000 bankroll, you can make anywhere from $2,500 to $15,000. All right. Now, most people out there won't make anything because they don't have the right strategies. All right, they don't have the right strategies. You think you have the right strategies, you think you're good at sports betting, but guess what? When you don't have your stuff tracked and you don't see anything, you can't look at stuff, you can't look at what you've been betting on, you have no clue what you're doing. All right, I deal with these people every day. All right, the only person I've ever seen like come even close to being successful is people that I have coached. All right, or like Billy Walters and stuff like that, where you see like they were successful and everything like that. But that's going way back. All right, but I'm just being honest with you. There's rarely people out there that can show you successes. All right, it's very hard because this game it's hard to make money. It's hard. There's a lot of things have to line up for you to be successful in sports betting. Like I said, $10,000 bankroll, yearly gain you can expect $5,000 to $30,000. All right, this is where you're getting into that second income, and then we start going into primary income type stuff here. $50,000 bankroll, you can make from $25,000 to $150,000. All right, this is where you could possibly do this for a living. And of course, all the people that have no money are going to comment and be like, you can't do it for a living. There's no way you could do it. Well, those people, they don't have any money. So that's why you're saying you can't do it for a living. All right. But if you have $50,000 bankroll, you could definitely do this for a living with the right, like I said, the right unit size, with the right strategy. And it's proven that you can make money. Now, the volatility you have to be able to make through. That's why I said emotions is very important, because one month you might make, you can make 20 grand maybe in 1 month off $50,000 bankroll, but then the next month you could lose 5,000. All right, so it's not a guaranteed paycheck. It's not a guaranteed amount of money that you're going to make every single week, every single month. But overall, throughout the whole entire year, that's what you can get. All right, now let's get to the big boy status, which is the $100,000 bankroll. You can make $50,000 to $300,000 a year with a $100,000 bankroll. All right, and I've been able to do this multiple times. All right, because that is what my bankroll is. And a lot of people always ask me, what bankroll you work with. That's the bankroll I'm working with. All right. Now, when it comes to that, just like I mentioned before with the unit sizes, a lot of, sports books you need to open. All right. You need different accounts. You need to have certain, like, your odds are going to differ. All right. You're going to have different odds off a bunch of sports books that you're splitting up the bets on. That's just the way that it is. All right. You want to make a decent income. That's where you're going. But that's pretty much the cap. All right, I'll be honest with you right there. $100,000 bankroll making 50 to 300 grand. That's a cap, unless you are for some reason hit a parlay. That you put $500 on that made $1 million, like the ones that they put out there. Those are the only way you're making more money than that. Consistent money, this is where you're pretty much capped at. All right, you're not making more than that every single year. It's very hard. All right, you would need to be in the correct area, the right sports books. You would need to have multiple sports books. You would need to have sports books in other people's names so that we have access to that as well if you were trying to go into a $500,000 bankroll to $1 million bankroll. All right, that is what the realistic side of sports betting and how much money you can make, this is what it looks like. All right. Like I said, if you guys want to write that down, you want to screenshot it, do whatever you want to do with those numbers, but that is what you can expect. All right. And those are the levels that it takes, to be successful and be able to make money. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is understanding value and the probability of winning. All right. People mistake what value is. They mistake what value. They think value is betting plus 100 or plus 150 or plus 110, or they think that's what value is. A lot of people I see that think that's what value is. All right. Value is not just that. All right. Trust me. There is plays that are plus 110, plus 100, plus 150 that are value plays. There is, but that's not strictly what value is. All right. Value is finding plays that are going to have a higher probability than what the odds are that they show you. All right. So sportsbooks, they set the lines with the money lines, the totals, player props, all that stuff. You see all that stuff every day. All right. But the true value and the probability on the lines, there's some that are different than what the odds that the sportsbook puts out. All right. And you can find these mostly on player props. You can find the mismatches here. There is. Now I made an example on here for you guys. All right. Now don't comment saying, Doncic, you can't get over this and everything like that. Listen, this is just an example. All right, so Doncic, his points over on a sports book, 29.5. All right, let's say that's minus 200. But let's say he's facing a team that is weak at guarding the point guard position. All right, and then let's say you go and look at his stats over the season, and you see that when he faces a team that's weak against guarding the point guard, he's hit over 29.5 points 80% of the time. All right, let's say once you do that research, now guess what? That minus 200 play right off the bat has a 66% probability of it actually hitting, just regardless. No matter what, it has 66% shot. That's what the odds dictate. But in real life, that bet actually has an 80% shot of actually winning. Why? Because, again, probability is him going against a team that's weak at guarding the point guard position. He's went over that number 80% of the time. There's an 80% shot that he'll go over that number. All right? So that is where you find the discrepancies at. And they're out there every day. All right, no matter what sport it is, they're out there every day. Now, money lines and totals, a little bit different, a little bit harder to find that stuff. All right, but I go in detail, like I said, I go in detail in my coaching program and all that stuff with the money lines and the totals and everything. That I'm not going over today. For example, I just want to give you guys a player prop and show you how that works out. All right, but that is what actual value is. All right, is finding a play that the odds they threw out and the probability just don't gel. All right, the probability is higher than what the odds are that they dictate. Now, a lot of times you'll see it reversed a little bit. All right, so sometimes it'll be the odds that they put out and the probability of hitting is way lower than what the odds they put it out at. All right, those you want to stay away from. Those are the worst bets you could possibly put out. All right, so make sure you stay away from that type of stuff. So let's go ahead and let's put all this stuff together now. All right, everything that I just taught you guys and everything we just went through, let's go ahead and put it all together. All right, your bankroll, money that you have, that's not your savings account, it's your investment account, strictly just to make more money with. It's between $1,000 and $100,000. Your unit size is either $10 all the way up to $3,000. All right, you keep your emotions in check. You do not tilt, you do not make bad decisions, and you don't empty out the tank. Never. We never empty out the tank. All right. With the proper bankroll management and the proper unit size, even with the worst strategy in the world, you need to lose 100 times. All right. You need to take 100 L's in a row to basically lose your entire bankroll. So remember that. All right. Next thing, you need the right strategy. Using the right strategy and finding the odds versus the probability discrepancies. You find those discrepancies. All right. Like I said, this is just a little sauce that I'm giving you guys. All right. On how you can structure yourself to find higher probability plays, so that way when you sit there at night and you bet on games, the probability of those winning are higher than when you're doing anything else and any other strategy that you're trying to do out there. All right, so make sure you have the right strategy in place and you have the right emotional control, which is the mental game. You have your unit size, bankroll all set up. You have all that stuff set up, and guess what? You are going to be a way more successful sports bettor than you were before watching this video that I'm showing you right now. All right. So like I said, guys, that is what it looks like to put everything together.